from the dust, and you walk in my garden. Hear now my voice, and know that I am your maker, and I am called Elohim. Seek me in my temple, if you are worthy.
I don't like putting the jammer directly in front of me because it usually bonks you a bit as you try and jump over it. But that might not matter as much as I think it does. And it definitely takes a little bit more effort to try and get it in the corner. The early parts of A1 in general are going really well. Everything up to the 2 wall jumps, which are where I have time save and time loss. Nice. I thought I was going to undershoot and fall, but I didn't. My lord, is it a sub 2 A1? It might be. I can't see my splits.
Step into the light.
Certainly felt pretty good.
You walk now upon the stones. Let this be our covenant. These worlds are yours, and you are free to walk amongst them and subdue them. But the great tower, there you may not go. For in the day that you do, you shall surely die.
Was lucky. I started resetting a frame too early and I got pushed in by the purple barrier momentum. Damn it, dude. It's going to be a slow cycle. Very slow cycle. Ideally you want to beat the mine to that corner. If you don't, you're losing a lot of time. Because you're also then going to have to wait for the mine.
Good. You are learning, as is your purpose. But your choices must be your own. Therefore, I will not guide you. Unless it is...
That was pretty good. Almost overshot there. Okay. Didn't fail that strat, so I don't have to do the terrible parkour backup that I'm apparently still really bad at. not the cleanest of A2s, but nothing went tremendously wrong, which is really good. A4, I have a lot of time to lose. I don't think I actually have time to save, because I think my bump jump has been better recently.
Of words, hidden words, invisible to you, yet part of all things. We are a story.
There we go. Third try is pretty acceptable.
Behold, I am Elohim, and I speak unto the darkness. Be gone.
One more laser overlap. I guess that's not true. We do another one in A5. I think we do one more later in the game. I don't remember. Maybe it's only as a backup strat in B1. Oh, minefield is nice and straightforward. Grab the jammer, go to the rock, do the thing. Did the thing. Check for paint. Don't have paint. The strat with the connector is, to me, still a new strat, but it's pretty fast. So it's like 4 seconds faster than the itemless strat, and the itemless strat is like 1 second faster than what I want to call it, the itemless strat with an item, which does not make sense. You can do the first half of the parkour with an item. I think the out of bounds parkour turned out to be faster as well. Oof, that's a wall. Alright, good enough A6. Let's see if I can not screw up A5.
Long ago, I shaped these lands
According to the purpose of the hidden words. Yes, we know Elohim. Two laser overlaps done. 3, sorry. I think there's only one more. That might not even show up. Oh yeah, there's also the one to try for in B7. I had it, dude. I thought I didn't. There we go. Wall jump is not a fun strat, but we have to do it. There's just nothing else even comparable. Well, that's not true. There is something slightly comparable for one of the levels at Uncapped, but for Over the Fence itself, there isn't anything comparable. Alright, pretty good A5. The important thing there is not failing the cube jump. If you fail the cube jump, you have to do a backup strat, and it's not very fun. Because it's very slow. Generally, those two things are related. This level. I don't like this level, just because there's a really obnoxious item jump in it. That one. It can go really wrong. I don't know if it did in PB or if it just has in other PB attempts. All I know is I don't like it. It's on my list of things if I suddenly find myself with half an hour of time to practice. So I might practice it a bit after this stream, this run. Okay. No idea what QR code I just looked at, but who cares? There is a laser overlap you can do here, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, this is nice and fast. Absolutely no worries about making the cycle. That cycle, where all the connectors turn off. The strat we're doing here is really good, but doesn't stay open forever. It's not... The intended solution keeps all the barriers open forever, and we don't do that.
Rejoice, child, for you have fulfilled all your tasks in this land. You have conquered all its guardians and
conquered all its guardians and solved all its mysteries. Thanks, Elohim. Thus, I appoint you. Wait, master? Yeah, that's it. I haven't heard the end of that dialogue in a very long time.
A new land, Stan.
A new land, Stan. Alright, B1. Yeah, I got noticeably less elevator lag, which is really good. I think I'm going to stay on high and not go to ultra. I think the game just doesn't like being on ultra. I just get ridiculous frame rate drops in C1, B1, as it loads like 7 levels or something.
So it was written in the hidden words before the beginning of time.
Alright. RC on entry. Cube snipe is free. Please ignore the beeps made by the mine. They're not for me, they're for the turret. Alright, BLCJ time. Wow. First try and the good BLCJ. I want my gold split, thank you. I'm glad those two arrangers in the top left are alternating out of sequence. I'd hate to think that they would be doing anything to make it less aggravating. Alright, this is where I might do a laser overlap glitch. Nope. I should just be good on the cycle. It's a very nice B1. Absolutely nothing went wrong. B2, on the other hand, has a cube jump, and I don't like cube jumps, but they are fast. Also, it's a fan snipe, speaking of terrible tricks. Basically, cubes are starting to become common, so we're going to start doing a lot of these cube jump tricks. There it is. Because they save a lot of time. I'm going to slow here because slow player speed gives me more distance. And I really need more distance on basically every cube jump I'm going to take for the rest of the game. There's only a couple where I need less distance. So, for those, I will be air controlling, which is a term I use a fair bit. Air controlling means pushing directional keys in midair. So I can hold left and I can move a little bit left. I can hold back, I can move a little bit back. The basic idea though is if you hit any key, you will slow down. Alright, barrier side. And a little bit to the left of the tree. Very nice. This cube jump is not strictly for distance, though it is nice. It's actually just the fastest way to get a cube into this level. And we need a cube in this level because this level is obscenely long. Okay, I'm going to replace the cube. Try and get it a bit farther. This is 20 seconds per retry, I think, is what I counted. This is not a good trick to be failing. But the cube jump went well. Both of them did, which is a good thing. This trick is called an extended ladder glitch. So for a ladder glitch, you hold down while you're on the ladder, and you get into this weird state where the game thinks you're still on a ladder, but you aren't really climbing the ladder. And then you do a guided slide onto a cube, which is basically a way of just teleporting to another location. And so the game still thinks you're on a ladder, because you just teleported, you didn't move anywhere. And then suddenly you climb the ladder, and the game's like, well, I guess there must be a ladder there, because you were on a ladder, and now you're hitting the climb button. And then you just climb a ladder essentially wherever you want. It's called extended because there's already a trick called ladder glitch, which is that for some ladders in the game, when you keep holding down while you're on a ladder, the ground is uneven, like angled, and so you just sort of start sliding along the ground. I have to reset. And when you slide along the ground, sorry, that 2-cube stack was causing me some trouble. Oh my god. Alright, we're taking the safe. This is 30 seconds, I think, for this failure. Anyways, you slide along the ground, and then you start sliding away from the ladder. So it's the same idea as an extended ladder glitch, where you're going to climb a ladder from the wrong spot. But instead, it doesn't require a cube, which generally is a little bit of a lighter requirement. There aren't actually that many ladders in the game at all. There definitely aren't that many ladders when you also require them to be near a cube.
You may wonder why.
Okay. More cube jumps, but these ones are generally very consistent. I say generally because they have, of course, failed like every other cube jump in the game. But these ones feel like more of an 80%. Alright, I don't have weird paint. That's a good thing. These ones feel like 80-90 rather than like 50-50. This is just an intended solution, because this intended solution is too fast. Alright. This is not an intended solution. I'm pretty sure. But it's also really fast. We're going to steal this fan blade here for the cube jump. We're actually going to do this a bunch of times. Okay, this is the first one. That was beautiful. That was not beautiful, I lied. Hello. That was slow. I almost landed in the sigil, which would have been really good. Instead, I landed a little bit short, which was not good. Give me that. Alright. Next cube jump is to a box up high. Hi, Williamson. Attempting to listen from crappy Wi-Fi at work. Good luck. I think there's an audio-only mode in the app, if that's what you're looking for. Doing a little bit of air control here because this cube jump tends to overshoot me. It's one of the few that I really wish I was on medium for, but it doesn't save enough time, and changing player speeds costs like 2.5 seconds, so it would be 5 seconds to change to 2.5 to change to medium, and then 2.5 to change back, for a total of 5, which is rather a lot of seconds. Mostly will cooperate in audio only, but still lags out. That's a shame.
You have solved many of the mysteries of this land. The road before you is still long, and many gates remain closed. But take comfort in your accomplishment, and in your creator's pride.
Setting up these connectors. Oopsie. It was too slow, so I need to stand in the path of the lasers so that it shuts down. Doing all this just to get this connector up top here, which we can cheese. It's not really a cheese. You're sort of supposed to have a connector on the cube. It's very similar. Cheese this puzzle here, and then we're going to also make use of that connector later. Which is the reason why this cube jump sucks, because you need to not die. Hi Heisen, thank you. Didn't die. Good. Gonna snipe that barrier over the wall. It's a very tall barrier. For whatever reason, they didn't want you jumping over it. Well, as a result, you can now just jam it from somewhere, which is great. That's the wrong doorway. Or chamber, I guess. Alright. Fan blade, reusing this laser for the second time to get the star. And then we're going to reuse it for the third time to solve behind the Iron Curtain. And now we're done with the laser. Can reset. It's always a little bit scary if you make a mistake in this level, because you lose the laser and you have to just go. You can either do, there are some really slow backup strats for every single thing there, or you can just go back and set up the laser again, or you can reset, which is what I usually do when this world goes terribly wrong. Alright. B6 is a nice relaxing level. And there's no cubes in it, so there can't be any cube jumps.
Do you not feel the pleasure of having
This level can be a bit scary, but I'm not doing the fast strats, so it's not.
to create order from chaos?
There's a strat here where you don't take the jammer, and you can make this jump without any... As long as you make it cleanly and don't bump into any of the walls, you outrun the turret killing you and grab the sigil, but it's not pretty. This level is very simple, just connect the things. There's some rocks on the ground, and so you can connect the things. That would be set 4, but it doesn't matter, it's not weird. You connect the things so that they're not intersecting, and then you don't worry about it. Alright, here we're going to stand a particular spot, try to at least. The goal there is to not get bonked as you run from the connector to the next one, because then you don't lose sort of your line of sight. Hello? One of the main issues in that area is you lose your line of sight to the connector, and you have to adjust, and adjusting is really slow. I'm currently on player speed slow from that cube jump. I haven't changed that, which means that if I move in any direction that isn't forward while sprinting, I move at like a quarter of the speed. So it's kind of important that I'm always trying to move forwards and never backing up or even adjusting side to side. So here, for example, to adjust my positioning, I'm tapping forwards into the wall. No, we are not getting a cube. That is old scrats. We are preserving the connector, or the jammer, to keep this barrier open. Alright. This is another cube jump, but it's not very stressful because all I'm trying to do is gain some speed. That said, that was almost perfect, so... okay. This is world B7 has our last two yellows, because world C is all reds. We're not going to use the arranger in C though, because we don't actually need platform this run. We have all the sigils for it. This is, of course, the all sigils category, but it's simply not worth the time. There was quite a long period of time in which it was still faster and was still gotten, but those days are over. That's the wrong side of the barrier to be lining up with. Okay. It's lining up for a jammer glitch on the left side. Alright, just doing some reset checkpoints here to adjust my position, and then I'm going to do one more to fix a cycle. I want these mines to be moving at the right speeds. Missed it. There is a really terrible laser overlap glitch you can do there. And it does save time, but it's really hard.
On the first night,
oh, god.
when I knew it was over,
I grabbed an audio log.
looked at the stars, and I thought, somewhere up there are the stations.
And I'm not about to reset checkpoint.
Voyager 1 and 2, beyond the edge of our solar system, continuing their long journey through interstellar space, like memories of our ambition.
This BLCJ is literally just there to save walking time. And it was really bad, so I'm not sure I'm even saving that much walking time. Meh. It's okay though. Alright.
The land of
Tombs is yours now. And let this be a lesson.
That only through
Faith may death be conquered. But there's a land of faith, Elohim. Why wouldn't it be through the land of faith?
Chaos is that which existed before time, when the words of a story lose their meaning, when actions cease to have purpose. Know that only faith can protect you from this error. Here, in the garden.
This strat still beats me up a lot. Well, that was bad, but wasn't as bad as it was in PB, so I still saved time, I think. Adjust to 3 characters and weapons, it'll take a while. Don't worry, that's why there's an entire series. That's the wrong side of the cube. We're just barely clipping the button there, so we're actually also standing on it, which means that the game is like, yeah, sure, the button's still pressed. It matters because if the button gets unpressed, then one of the laser connections starts failing. Okay, good enough. I'm not super convinced that that's fast, but there really isn't any other strat that's close. Well, there's another strat, but it's not very good. There's a cube tilt that I did in glitchless, but the cube tilt was also really hard to set up. Now, we go to C.
If you dedicate yourself to understanding them, you may join the...
C is where we get the majority of the red sigils.
You have come far.
Couple of BLCJs. Well, good start. I haven't gotten a slow BLCJ in that area for a very long time. Or I guess a fast one, whatever. A short jump. Did not want to stop playing, thank you. The fast cube jumps land you back here, I think. Or maybe I have it wrong and that was a slow one. No, we are not done. Thank you. We have to do another cube snipe. Cube sniping is when you make a guided jump over a fence and you grab the cube before you land. It's a bit tight, but it generally it's generally very straightforward to do. Hey, the cube jump didn't fail. Wow, talk about momentum. Well, that was bonkers. Alright, thanks, Williamson. Alright. 3 little connectors in the fan, then we get paint. Since it's not weird paint, I enter through the purple barrier. Since it will save me a decent bit of time. Or since it'll keep my checkpoint at the front of the level. If I had weird paint, I would instead use the rocks on the side so that my checkpoint would still be at spawn. Because then when I reset checkpoint, I'll be closer to the paint. Paint is not very useful, like it's not going to give you a lot of height, but any amount of height is good for that. You can almost make it without any items at all. Ugh. Jumped way too early.
But be wary of temptation.
Alright, and then we have to do Mountain Goat. Place the jammer in barrier glitch range from the start there. Because I want to start the cube elevator as quickly as possible. That's actually the limiting factor. The reason I move the cube while I'm waiting, the reason I move the cube to be closer before I do the jammer glitch is because, yeah, I do go left. Because the cube is still rising. In Uncapped, you're actually able to re-grab the cube because the cube rises a lot faster, and you can do the whole strat with only 2 items. But in 60, you need 3 items because of how slow the elevator is. That also hurts me in Cat's Cradle, where I have to wait for the cube elevator for a little while. But yeah, the idea is to start the cube elevator as quickly as possible, and then do as little work as possible while you're, and do as much work as possible while you're waiting for it to get into position. And then once it gets into position, start moving stuff as quickly as you can. Yeah, 60 is weird in a couple of ways. I was pretty sure you're talking about C1. That was a really good C6. Holy cow. First try jammer glitch, first try tree. I would say first try circumlocution, but that's not a thing. Circumlocution is just free. Not that I haven't screwed it up, just that it's essentially free. Okay, that's fine. That's less fine. There we go. There's some precision that I'm not doing. Ah, that's also obnoxious. There's some part of that trick that's more precise than I think it is, and I don't know what it is. So I might have to look into a better cube jump for that. What am I doing, dude? I thought I was getting Ucash Star before Ucash Sigil. Ucash Star is fortunately on a cycle, so it doesn't really matter how quickly I do it. It's another moment where I can relax a little bit. There is a way to make the cycle faster, but you have to be really quick to do that, and I think I'm still doing something wrong in the setup of the trick to actually make that possible. This is not strictly necessary, but it's really nice to have a cube in hand in case that happens, because then you can just do the cube, put the cube on the ground for a backup. Alright. One more bump jump, then I think we're done with bump jumps. No, we're not. There's one in C2. But we're mostly done with bump jumps. Alright. This level's obnoxious. Specifically, there's one cube jump in this level that's obnoxious. Alright, so the cube only really has to go about here for you to get the guided. Oh, a little bit too close. About here for you to get the guided onto the wall. And the earlier you place it, the better it is, because you have to run around the corner to get to it again. That may not be true, actually, because you have to run the distance anyways, once you've gone to the back corner. Alright, now we do the full setup to keep the barrier open. We set up the cube. We line up on our favorite pixel. And it works this time. Cool. Alright, now we're going to go back to player speed fast. Where we're going to be for the rest of the run. Specifically because C4, which is not the next level, but the next... no, it's not next level at all. It's very far away. But C4, which is coming soon, TM, wants a fast cube jump. Or needs a fast cube jump. And so we want to just switch to fast now to make life a lot easier. In general, things are easier on fast. But that cube jump there, we still need it to be on slow. So I've been sort of putting up with it a little bit for the run. Just because it saves a bunch of menuing time. And I really hate having to menu a lot. For people who are more comfortable with menuing, they switch back and forth a lot more fluidly.
We're trying to build the future out of old video game code and half-finished research
There we go.
projects. We should have had years, maybe decades. With the kind of money they used to put into
Want to finish Night Flyers? Okay, have fun.
If I stop and think about how crazy this is, I will have a nervous breakdown. So I won't. Yeah. Okay.
Depressing Drennan. Okay, so we broke out a cube. We're going to reuse it for a couple of things. I did a guided slide there again to get a jammer, or a connector out into the main area. Nope, not getting a guided jump today. That made Dead Man's switch somewhat trivial. Let's see. And then I'm able to reuse the same cube to make Crisscross Conundrum Advanced straightforward by just jumping onto the walls. So there's a bit of careful maneuvering there to keep that cube in good position.
Those who have discovered the holiest mysteries of my garden may come to serve me as blessed messengers. You walk now in their abode. Be respectful, for their service is born from the love that transcends death. And their love
Visible bridge
is
here, so I'm going to line up on the dirt path and then walk to the statue. And then grab the hidden star. Armory, then we are seeing armory. Hello? Give me the cube. This is another place where it's helpful because I need to walk backwards after I grab that cube. So it really helps to be at fast so that walking backwards isn't a nightmarishly slow experience. Yeah, we have to do the strat twice, in fact, to break out the cube. Another cube jump. This time we're going to be doing a fast cube jump. I'm also going to be holding forwards for it. And doing a load of air control with my mouse to try and make sure I don't fall. I'm going to drop this cube for later, and then I'm going to do some parkour on these ramparts, which is really obnoxious, but got it, so that's good. Okay, this is a cube tilt. So by placing the cube just so, it angles slightly, but we can still stand on it. We technically have been doing these in a couple of places throughout the run, but they haven't been as pronounced as that. Alright, this is the cube jump that needs to be at fast, and this is a really important cube jump in the run. Because the level we're going to Oobly at, this is the level that that needed platform in the past, and doesn't anymore, and that's entirely because of that cube jump. Well, and the previous like 10 variations of that cube jump that I've tried. Come on. Okay, one more BLCJ to get to stables. And then a nice little guided jump to get over the wall. And that's C4. Next up is C2. C2 is pretty straightforward. Rapunzel's not fun, but it's necessary, of course. The strat for Rapunzel, I mean. There is another strat that's itemless, but I really dislike it, so.
Do not falter, do not fear, and do not give in to temptation.
Okay. Got it. So here, I'm going to do a little bit of parkour to get up onto this angel statue. And then some more parkour, or attempt some more parkour to get into the short wall from the walls. And since I'm already on the walls, I can skip the entirety of the puzzle, which is good because we don't have platform, which is actually is required to beat this level, unless you do this sort of garbage. There's also a bump jump you can do, but it's really hard, and we usually do it on 15 for extra distance. Then from the short wall, there's a nice little tree that gets me into the star of a ditch and a fence. And from the star, it's actually really easy to just get the sigil. Alright, and then here's a bump jump. I think it's the last one in the run. It's this nice little rock that we saw earlier in C5. We're just going to reuse the same trick. If I can get the bump jump. Not the cleanest C2, but good enough. And so it is done. Hey EDB, thank you. As per usual, probably only going to be one run today, but... Enjoy your food. Alright, floor 1. We could beat floor 1. We have the items for it, but it's slow. Hey, I missed the purple barrier this time. No extra reset. Oh my god. I actually fell. That hasn't happened in a year. 4 months? Hasn't happened in a while. Just means I either took the angle too sharply, or I did something dumb. It's like 10 seconds, maybe more, because it took me a while to recognize. But I didn't get the checkpoint, which is a little bit of time saved, so. Alright, you're gonna unlock floors 2 and 3. I know the terminal's in Chinese, but it's faster this way. And nothing actually changes. The code for floor 3 is on a post-it note, so it's a texture in the game, which means it can't change. We're going to go to floor 3 first and open the door. This is just a slight optimization to save some time later. Then we're going to go right back down to floor 2. We're going to open the floor 2 door. Okay, and now we only need 1 cube to come out of floor 2 because of BLCJs. Just saves a little bit of time because breaking out multiple cubes just takes longer. There's no doubling back now, which is really good. So we jam this cube into the corner, and then it just pops through the wall. To save a little bit of time, I like to stand on this cube at the front of the elevator, because it'll let me run out earlier. It's also why I did the elevator glitch again, because now the door is open early. So as we come up to floor 3, I can just run forward and get out of the elevator a lot faster. Alright, so we need to do 2 things here. As per usual, whenever there's a cube and an item we want, we're going to break the item out, and then we're going to do this BLCJ to get us over the barrier into the star. And now, instead of using the usual 2 connectors plus an axe, getting the axe was ridiculously slow. So instead we broke out this jammer, and we can use it to open the barrier on the bottom floor. And then I'm going to reset checkpoint here, just so I can teleport from the elevator, which is actually faster than running all the way around the tower. Not by much, but it's extremely free because we do so many elevator glitches, we're so used to them. Alright. There is one last level to do, and it's A star. It's for those last 3 gray, or silver, whatever you like to call them, so sigils. That was not something I'm supposed to do. Good job, me. That's also not something I'm supposed to do. Just full of bad ideas right now. Okay. We're starting with locked from inside, jammed from within, JFW. Yeah. I remember the acronym better than I remember the actual name. Ah. It's a little bit short on that jump. Come on, dude. Alright, let's just do the other strat. I don't usually have any trouble with the Nerve Wrecker strat, but it's been causing me some headaches of late, so I might switch to the newer one. The newer one's like a second slower, but it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, and failing it is a huge deal, so I'd really like to not fail it. We're gonna do this the new way as well, but I honestly think it's faster. Well, a bit of a sloppy A star, but hopefully still in good shape. I can't see my splits, so I have no idea if I am anywhere near being done. Or being out of time. I obviously know that I'm nearly done. I only have my watch to go by, which says this is an okay run, but it doesn't say that it's sub 50 or not. Alright. up to floor 3 and then right back down to floor 6. It is absolutely not worth it to open the door. Or to unlock the floor and then open the door. I landed. Good. Okay, that looks good. Took a little bit of time on that setup, but still got it.
It is now time to choose.
Okay. Splits say that was a 50-17. Damn it. I wanted a sub 50.